In a village nestled between the great rivers of Africa, where everyone knew everyone and gossip spread like wildfire, there lived a poor orphan named Agbo. She had lost her parents at a tender age and was left to fend for herself. Despite the hardship she faced, Agbo was a determined and hardworking girl. She had learned how to fish from her father and had become quite skilled at it. Every day, Agbo would paddle her canoe out to the river and haul in the day's catch. She would then roast the fish to perfection and sell them in the village market. Despite her hard work, Agbo faced ridicule. Some of the young men in the village would laugh at her and say, "Fishing is not for women." They would point fingers at her and call her the dirty fish girl because she smelled like fish. She felt like they were right, that she was somehow less of a person because she was a fisherwoman. She began to doubt herself and her abilities. Agbo was the best and she caught more fishes. The men laughed at her out of jealousy, and deep in their hearts they knew she was way better than them.
No man in this village will marry you. You smell like rotten fish. Agbo, fishing is not for women. It is for strong men like us. Leave this thing and go home. Go and look for something else to do. If you don't know what to do, go and sell oranges in the market.
Agbo tried to ignore them, but it was hard. One day, one of the young men entered her canoe as usual and started insulting her, but Agbo got really angry. She insulted all of them and called them lazy fools. From that day, Agbo started going to a different part of the river, a deeper part, quite a distance from the village, just to fish in peace. And this part of the river really favored her. She started catching more fishes, even bigger ones. It was as if the gods had smiled on her. She was so happy and shocked. Whenever she caught any big fish, she would say to herself,
"I will make pepper soup with this one. This is for me and me alone."
She would roast the smaller fishes as usual and then journey to the village market. She made very little money from all this, sometimes no money at all. The women in the village did not make life easy for her. They would take fishes, and when it was time to pay, they would start calling her names and giving silly excuses.
"You, this dirty smelling fish girl, you brought fish to me with your hair so open, and you expect me to pay you with that your dirty hair. If you don't cover that hair, I will not pay you."
Because of the daily complaints from the market women, Agbo started covering her hair, thinking that would make them pay her and also stop calling her names. But the women persisted.
"Look at your mouth. Leave this place now. Small girl like you. I wonder what you want to use money for. Better bring fish for me tomorrow. I will pay you in my own time." "Did you pay Agbo today?" "Why will I pay her? What does she need money for? Small girl like that." If her mother was alive, would she ask her mother for money because of ordinary fish? Abeg, let her get out. She's just a silly, dirty girl.
Agbo was so sad, but there was nothing she could do. She would quietly go back home and console herself with her fish pepper soup, smiling and cooking, also hoping for the best. Some evenings she would take a stroll around the village, but some villagers would point fingers, calling her the dirty fish girl. But one fateful day, while Agbo was out fishing, she caught a very big fish. It looked pregnant. She had never seen anything like that before. She was so shocked. Later that evening, she prepared the smaller fishes and roasted them as usual. Then she started preparing the big fish for herself. While she was cutting it open, she saw a golden calabash in the belly of the fish, shining brightly. She was so surprised. She removed it, feeling a strong pull towards it and admiring its beauty. She felt a sense of peace when she held it in her hands, so she decided to keep the calabash in her room. As she continued with her cooking, she decided to use the calabash as a saving box whenever she gets paid by the market women. That night, she placed the calabash beside her bed and she slept off. The following morning, Agbo decided to open the calabash, and to her surprise, it was filled with money. She was so happy. At the same time, it felt like a dream. She spent the entire day looking at the calabash. That day, she slept really early, hoping when she wakes up, it will all be a dream. But the next day, she opened the calabash again and the money was still there. That was when it dawned on her. She quickly filled her wooden bucket with water and